Are we?
We're live!
Yeah.
Shouting won't make us live, Hannah.
We actually are, though,
We're
for
live.
reals.
See us
Okay.
as live, but let me see.
So Neil apparently has a
Oh, we
power
are live.
outage, and we're just here to hang out with you while we all wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
And also, Jen really
can
wants to tell
redo-
you about being Pineapple Jen. Okay.
Yeah, I did. You have to act surprised, and I'm gonna do it as if I never told the joke already 2 times today.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up, Jen? What's new in your life? Well, people.
Wait, Jen, you have to...
No. Hold on.
Hold on, Jen. I'm gonna stop you so you can scoot your chair back a bit first.
Yeah. I wanted to do the reveal slowly, so this is the top of my shirt.
Oh, I see.
Whoa. And conveniently, I was using this to warm myself up, lining up with that, making me Pineapple Jen. And Neil was like, "Ooh, Jen, are you a pineapple?" Well, yes, I am. A pineapple.
Woo!
And thus, Pineapple Jen was born.
Yes, like the Pineapple Jen song.
You know,
Pineapple, Apple Jen.
right. And there are very few of you still left hanging out in chat, so if you guys have any questions for us, you direct the conversation as we wait for Neil. You tell us what you want to talk about.
Figured a nice Q&A session where you could like ask us questions about us a little bit, and then if you have any questions about characters or what our characters are doing or feeling or any of that, now's the time that you get to ask away.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just want to know our favorite color.
Or fruit.
I think I know your favorite fruit. Pineapple?
No, actually, I don't like pineapples that much.
How can you be a pineapple if you don't like them? Or cats. You could ask questions about cats. My cat.
Yeah, what are your favorite fruits, people?
My only fruit that I eat is an apple, and I just started eating apples this year.
Wow.
That's the only fruit you eat?
Yeah, I don't like sweets, so I don't. All fruit's really sweet. I can sort of eat watermelon once in a blue moon if it's like really like light.
Watermelon's like one of the sweetest.
Yeah, that's why it's very, very rare that I've ever had it. But it's very watery based, so I don't feel like it's too much. But that was me, like I would nibble it. But apples, like I had it when I went to Australia, and I just was like, oh, I love this. But I had it with cheese, and I usually have it like mixed in with something. I eat them by themselves now sometimes, but they're still kind of sweet for me.
The Mad Mel asks, how often do you guys play D&D?
Every Tuesday.
In fact, Jen and I have been playing this same channel, this same game.
The same day, the same time.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
How long have we played here, V?
I've played here for like a year and a half, I think now, which is crazy.
Has it been that long already? That means I was a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been 2 then? I'm gonna check.
I have been.
Let's see.
I remember the one that I filled in for was when I think Jen was DMing.
The mermaid.
And I filled in for Trump.
I specifically remember you being like a very mysterious guest. I was like, oh, she seems cool and mysterious.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then I was like pretending to be Trump, like trying to role play as Trump would role play his character. So it was fun. But yeah, it was a fun fill-in, and then I ended up filling in completely a little later.
It looks like Seaborn started November 2, 2015, at least on YouTube.
Holy cow.
Wow.
That is 2 years ago almost. Jeez.
Holy cow. I can't believe that.
Devotion. When did Devotion start?
It's been a while.
We were on the show before Devotion too.
We're at level 6 now. We're
Devotion was 2016 December, so that's been almost a year.
Have we already done this one? Almost a year, Devotion?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Have we really?
I feel it's so early in the campaign.
It feels so new still.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Dude,
What
you
are
know
your
what?
thoughts? Oh wait, you guys didn't answer your questions about fruit.
Oh, well,
Strawberries.
I super like grapes without seeds in them. The ones that are sweet, I guess.
Okay,
No.
Anna.
Strawberries.
Strawberry, not a snozzberry.
Now, strawberries. Oregon strawberries, specifically.
And
They're way
Jen?
better.
I'm actually struggling to find an answer. I love a lot of fruits. It's tough.
And I play D&D only on Tuesdays. I would like to play more one day.
Yeah,
Trump, are
actually,
you
I didn't finish answering that question because I play, well, like last week I played 3 times a week. But 2 times a week usually, all on Tuesdays.
Maybe peaches.
Ooh, peaches are good. Peaches taste like kissing.
Totally.
I'll have to try peaches one day.
You've never tried a peach?
I've never tried a peach. I haven't tried a lot of different fruit because just like for some reason growing up, even when I was a kid, like I didn't like anything sweet, and I don't know why I'm like that because I feel like I'm the one person on earth that doesn't like any kind of sweets.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Guess it helps you
really-
stay healthy.
Hmm.
yeah, it just doesn't like appeal to me. But carbs, however, which I've given up now for 14 days, are very delicious. Yes, I've given up bread and pastas the last 14 days. It's been great for my body. I don't get any kind of bloating whatsoever now.
So
I
guys,
like this question. What's the food you don't really like that much that people usually like? So V is sweet things. And then Trump, do you have foods that you dislike that people are like, what? How can you dislike such a thing?
Sure. Almost every vegetable.
yeah,
But that's less shocking than fruits.
Oh, fruits that I dislike, or
No. V not liking fruits is more shocking than you disliking vegetables.
Vegetables, though, you can live off vegetables more so than living off fruit.
yeah, I mean, I guess a
The
surprise
nutritional
might be
value.
when I have a hamburger, I would take off the lettuce on it. So that's the extent of my dislike. I think that would make people weird. I also don't like a lot of sauce, so usually don't have any ranch or ketchup or mustard on various things.
we should answer the D&D
that's on
questions. There's
Wait,
a lot of
we-
them.
I want to know, does tomato
We're just talking
are
about food the whole
included-
time. People are here for D&D.
are they included at the fruit?
No, I like tomatoes. That guy asked Trump, "Are you happy with the direction of Graveyard?"
I'm a little bit bitter on how the players escaped the total party kill last week.
Huh.
Like, Q-Salt, you were there, and you know that everyone should have died. But they didn't. I mean, it's good for them to enjoy a nice heroic win every once in a while, but that wasn't one they should have won. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone.
Well, the
Hey,
point of
these-
Heroes Graveyard is like to be a meat grinder type show, right?
It's kind of both. Like, if we're going to make challenges, which usually are balanced around I mean, as close as we can balance it, we want it to be challenging enough to push parties to likely have someone die, but not always. And sometimes everyone will die. So it's kind of, we're balancing it around the point of fair encounters and then like adding in just a little bit more on top of that, so that it's really, really challenging. That's kind of the point of it. And we're still telling a story behind it, and we're making, and kind of the goal is to bring a lot of people who haven't played Dungeons and Dragons as much just together, so the rotating cast gets to showcase a lot of new faces too.
DC Impose says, "What are your thoughts on how the campaign has been going?" I'll start. I think our campaign's been going well. It's definitely had some twists and turns that were unexpected, but I think that our campaign has played a lot of different areas. Like we've seen a lot of different scenarios, which I like, that you don't always normally see role played in D&D. So it's been fun in that, and I like the new aspects, like how I've grown into like, premonitions through my dreams, and like, Kellen's about to like also go into a new power of his, and like I like that kind of stuff that's been going on as well. Neil said, okay, power will be out at least an hour, he said.
Yeah, Neil says
Go ahead.
Neil actually just told me he will not be back. So.
Okay.
So no D&D this week, but I say we answer a few more questions and then say goodbye.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead if you guys want to answer how the campaign's going.
I think it's fun. Neil has always kind of done his own brand of D&D. And this is definitely like a whole new brand. It's basically like soap opera D&D with and like the audience chooses whether we advance.
That's very interesting.
So that's really Oh god.
Oh, I have an tiny anecdote about what you just said.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember the first time that Neil referenced to soap opera D&D for this one. But I find it very cute because he told us before a show that his girlfriend was watching this show, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And then he was like, why are you watching this one and not the other ones? Like, why Devotion especially, you know? Because she's not an avid Misscliks watcher, I think. And then she's like, well, it's like the soap opera of D&D. And then it's like, I remember Neil saying like, it is the soap opera of D&D. And then the next show that he did was actually the one where we had the wedding. And there was like the mom that slept with the dad. And then we caught them. And then like the siblings that are like from a different family. Like there was all kinds of hell in this episode, which was one of the best actually, I think. And I think that was the click in Neil's head. That's when like, okay, this show is the soap opera of D&D. Like, I'm going all out for this. Like, it'll get
Jen. I super agree with that, and I think that show is one of the better ones as well. I really like drama in Dungeons and Dragons, which is part of my ideal for Heroes Graveyard as well. We're there to... I actually shared a picture with Anna about how Destiny keeps taking the dodge action in the Dungeons and Dragons game I'm playing, which does create a little bit of drama, since it may not be the best for the party, but it's the best for him. So, drama in Dungeons and Dragons, great. I love that aspects about this one, even though it's not the most combat heavy, which is good too. I really like the encounters. In fact, probably my favorite part of Dungeons and Dragons tends not to be just fighting monsters, but finding clever ways out of situations or interacting with NPCs.
For sure.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments of all time in any of our Misscliks D&D episodes was like when we had to, I think it was a necklace that was on the bottom of the sea, Jen, where we did the bucket thing.
Oh, that was good too. Yeah.
Was it a necklace? I don't know, but we had
I think so, yeah.
We had to retrieve this necklace from the bottom of the sea.
Yes.
And to do that,
I remember.
We had to cast.
There was like a dangerous creature next to it, like I don't know, an octopus or something. And then I don't remember, but we were like, we need to use mage hands.
Yeah, Lily
and then
had
Neil
to...
is like, you can't cast underwater.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So we convinced Neil that we could take a watertight bucket, like a big bucket, and we could weight Lily down so that she could pull the bucket down with her, trapping enough air inside that she could do the verbal component of the spell and cast it underwater. So those kinds of... So the point of the little anecdote was to say that I also like puzzle-solving elements in D&D a lot.
Yeah.
And so my favorite parts of this campaign have been when Neil does fun little like mini-game challenges and things like that, because I know they take a lot of work on his part, so I know we can't have them like every episode, but that's been like something new and fresh that I've never had in a D&D campaign before that I really like, and it's like it's adding a gaming element on top of the game, which I like.
Yeah.
There's so many good anecdotes about D&D and like using spells creatively together and stuff. Like I remember the one time, Anna, where like I think we used like create portals or something, rope trick.
Oh yeah.
And we wanted to get out of a closed out thing, and then Neil was like, "You can't fit out of there," and Anna was so upset, and she like got up and she had her door and she measured like the size of the door and tried to like crawl through.
I was trying to convince Neil that the width of a female elf's head would fit through. It was like a 7-inch opening or an 8-inch opening. So to prove to Neil that my head was 8 inches wide, I shut my bathroom door. on my head with a ruler to show him so that I could prove it and come back. And yeah, ultimately,
So you won that argument.
ultimately, he let me make a roll for it, which I passed. Which, yeah.
Nice.
That was like, it was the longest argument we've ever had in a D&D game.
It
went
was
on like
really
an hour.
long. Yeah, it did. I remember. I think we started it, took a break, continued it, finished it, took a second break,
Yeah.
and then continued playing.
Jeez.
It was really fun though.
Mad May asked, what was your first D&D modules you played, and did you live through it?
I mean, did we live through it for how long? Because when you play with Neil, you don't live through it. My first was 2 Neil. So it was basically second edition, but with a few homebrew elements in it. And I actually didn't play anything but that for my first 2 years. What about you guys?
The first time I played online is with Neil, so it was these. But before, back in the day, I mean, I played when I was like 10, but I don't even remember what version or anything. That was like 15 plus years ago. So I don't remember what exactly. It was like on a paper. We had little figurines we move around. So Neil 2 Neil would be my first 2 online.
What about you, Trump?
Sure. For me, I started off with a pretty big classic with friends. I played the Temple of Elemental Evil, which is an infamous module for Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't play it in first edition. I believe I played it for Pathfinder or third edition, one of them. And yeah, that got me started into the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing. It was great.
And 2 Neil for me too. It was on roleplay, the original one, and I don't know. I think our characters lasted quite long. Like my first character never died. Abigail was the sole survivor of original roleplay. Like that.
Ha!
Bam. Bam. Yep, she ran away, suckers. She ran away and lived forever.
So I guess it's not true. You can live with Neil if you sacrifice everybody else.
Yeah, if you leave everyone else behind in your party, because they played a little bit reckless and you were like, I'm out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can. And then they're bitter forever.
Brogina asked, can you attack your own party? I mean, technically you can, but generally you don't want to.
But it did happen a couple times.
Yeah.
I think in the roleplay we actually killed. Was it JP? I think we killed JP once. Like he died, then he created a new character and joined our party, and then I don't know. He was like a dark necromancer or something, and it was like not a fit. And then we thought he was trying to kill us or something, and we killed him. I think. I feel that happened. I'm not sure. I know my party killed me indirectly once. They to avenge Abigail's death, I made a new character that was exactly like Jeff's character, by the way, because I wanted to make a point, and I wanted people to like me like they liked Jeff, and they did not like me even when I was role playing Jeff, and I was pretty upset. I was like, this is exactly the same character, and I'm still getting called out for being like the not nice one. I was like, this is shitty. And then my party, because I was being too aggressive, they gave me up to the evil people. And as they gave me up, I made my character scream, I'm pregnant! To make them feel guilty.
Did they feel guilty though?
I think they had a tiny bit of feeling bad, but they still didn't save me.
I think game encounters where you attack your own party or someone attacks their own party are probably the most interesting moments. Obviously, you can't do it very often for obvious reasons, but it's really cool. Actually, in Seaborn, Anna's new character, Fiona, began by getting attacked by my character.
Oh, yeah.
It was as a test. I didn't attack to kill, but she might have died if I didn't attack to kill. If I were to attack to kill. Other things that have happened in this campaign are Olivia killed my father, so
indirectly, but a little bit.
A little bit.
Boom Boom asks, are there any characters you guys would bring back if you could? PCs or NPCs? I would bring back Maribel.
Aw, we were such good friends.
I know. Maribel's like my BFF in the previous campaign, and she died, and then her poor bird was roasted by Trump.
That is my favorite moment
And
of Misscliks.
That's
And
your
he
favorite
didn't even
moment?
roast it to be edible. He roasted it and it was wasted.
If I could bring back a duo, I would bring back Lily and December. But if I'd have to pick solo, I would bring back Mr. Varnouche every single time.
I would bring back Bird so I could cook him properly.
Why was that your favorite moment?
I thought it was a really good piece of dark humor. The fact that you died and then the party didn't really stop me from misidentifying the fact that they would have liked Bird to be cooked as kind of a...
I was going through grief during that time.
Yeah, but I was doing it not to be evil, but just as a misunderstanding, since my ideals were still from 3,000 years ago, where it would have been respectful to burn your food so that it was edible. Like, that's how you can respect animals, I suppose, so they get eaten. So
But you chose.
it was so over the top that I couldn't help but crack up.
Let's see. Do you guys have any other questions? I might have missed some up. If I did, I'm sorry. Repeat your questions for me if you have any.
I saw one from
Ooh, favorite NPC.
You saw what?
I saw one from Brogina that asked, why are all my characters hippies? I think all my recent characters have been hippies, but I don't think that's been true until like this year.
No, that's new.
Yeah. And I don't know why that's true this year.
You're just in tune with the land right now.
Yeah, and they're all different kinds of, like, I can see why you're saying they're all hippies, but like Kellen is just a self-obsessed valley girl. Evelyn is a Southern Belle devotee, and Lapis is like a crystal, like, she's like the real hippie of all of them. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should examine why.
The question from Boom Boom K9000. Is there any character you guys would bring back if you could? We said playable characters, but we didn't say NPCs. Like NPC you would bring back. Like, is there one that stood out to you?
An NPC?
Yeah, favorite NPC.
Oh, Hogu.
Hogu?
I'd bring back Hogu.
Hogu is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd bring back Pimpernel.
Ah, Pimpernel.
Ooh, or Granil. Ooh, I like
Ah,
Granil.
I take it back. I'd bring back Granil.
Granil was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, also when Neil plays like a fish or any type of like squirrel, it's pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of any from like this campaign yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor Neil.
Well, none of them
There
have
must
like died or stayed with us very long. Like maybe Rhonda, but we don't have to bring her back because she's still there.
Well, I mean, Guy Claypool's pretty cool.
Ooh, yeah, I love Guy. Guy is like a really, really good NPC.
He's still here though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really like Guy Claypool.
Yeah, I like that arc where they were winning all the competitions.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
good.
That it was tough to figure out.
Chorus.
Oh, I love Koibu's chorus.
Mm.
They're like, do any of you guys watch the Mindy Project?
No.
I haven't seen that
Good.
one now.
It's about an OBGYN clinic, and then they have a competing clinic that's like above them, that's like a naturopath OBGYN, like midwife clinic or something, and they're always at odds, like stealing customers from each other, and it's exactly the same as Koibu's chorus. None of you have seen it, so none of you can relate, but
Koibu's chorus is a really good recurring villain.
Yeah.
It fits the show really well.
there's so many good jokes about it.
Is there a wiki or recap somewhere for newbies? Grumble, you could watch the YouTube videos if you want to start from the beginning, but there's not
Also-
like a I don't think there's really a like a recap anywhere besides that. I would do YouTube though. You can start from the beginning.
I also want to say that the first time, I think it was just the three of us. V wasn't in the party yet when we met Brimstone in Seaborn. That was a very awesome voice acting for
Ooh.
Brimstone. Neil
Yeah.
brought in another guy who
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
just
pretty
had the
good.
sickest deep dragon voice.
Brimstone's
Yeah.
a really cool NPC too, actually. I loved Brimstone.
What is each of your guys' dream arc villain? Like a type of villain that you guys really want to go up against at least once. Ooh.
I like the creepy ones, like the creepy, all-knowing, like hag type. Like, I'll take this in return for that, and you must choose between two impossible things. I like those.
I really like what you just said.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I like the villain that I had to go up against once, which was, you know, in our old campaign when Trump's character was the villain and I had to like do all that, like try to get into his dreams and keep talking to him and send visions over to him. And then that was pretty cool. Like something like super evil like that you have to like really try to like convince to become like better.
Ooh,
like
yeah.
kind of
I like that too. Or like villains
Yeah.
that are almost like a mini game in themselves that have like lots of facets that you have to work together
Yeah.
to defeat.
Yeah.
Like you have to figure out a weakness and then the party has to work together to exploit the weakness. I like that.
Yeah.
Whether that's a physical or a mental or story weakness.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's a monster that's made out of wood, so you figure out it's susceptible to fire, so you have to figure out how to make a big enough fire to set it on fire. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really cool. My ideal for villainhood still comes from the anime Death Note, where it's just for those who haven't watched it, I won't spoil it, but it's an epic battle of wits between the protagonist and the antagonist, and they're both really, really clever as well as detailed in their planning. So just that kind of battle of wits with a villain is the type of villain I'd want to go up against, and the type of villain I try to portray in Heroes Graveyard.
Anxiety says, when are you... Oh, wait.
I didn't give my evil.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I like a long-term evil. So I like an evil that you have to deal with for consistently and long amount of time. Whether like in the past it's been like giving things to Brimstone because you're scared, but like any type of evil. And I think the best type would be the one that you're not sure how evil they are. Like you're not sure if they're just like a little bit weird, neutral, if they're actually evil, or like, you know, you have some doubt and you're like forced to entertain a relationship with them over a long period of time. I feel that's interesting.
That's cool. Well, basically, yeah, Brimstone.
Yeah, Brimstone, and in the past there was also like, I think it was in roleplay, there was like Horus, Uncle Horus that turned into like, like stuff like that. I really like.
Vanity asks, when are you and Jeff gonna play a game together?
Well, I think he was supposed to be a guest at like the end of August. And I don't know why that didn't happen now that you mention it.
I thought we did play a game all together once.
We did. I've played with him before.
Yeah.
There's tons of games with Jeff and I playing together on the Misscliks YouTube. In fact, like you can search Misscliks Dungeon World in Control Edition. He DM'd one for us. And then he was a recurring guest on Demigods.
Wasn't it on the first one? No?
On Pirate Edition?
Yeah.
He may have guested on Pirate Edition, but I'm specifically thinking of Tyrant that he played, the Minotaur that he played in Demigods.
Yeah. That was really good.
And Maribel was kind of like loosely based on Tyrant. So, but yeah, he's also supposed to guest on this show sometime soon. Spoiler.
Is Rhonda supposed to be Rhonda Rousey? Neil made a comment once about her doing an armbar.
He's never told us that he's supposed to be Ronda Rousey, but that makes sense. Neil does that kind of stuff a lot, and I don't notice sometimes.
Yeah, he does a lot of
Yeah,
pop culture references, and being from Canada and French, I miss a lot of these. A lot.
What's your favorite published module?
Dude, I have done so
Published?
few of those, and I really need to do them. That's my goal for this next phase of D&D is like try to DM a published module, but I'm scared. So 0 so far.
Mm.
I haven't done any.
Well, I mean, I
don't
guess
think.
I've done like Curse of Strahd and Storm King's Thunder, and I'm just starting Tomb of Annihilation. So, of those, 2 Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, I played something on Stream of Annihilation. I don't remember what exactly I played.
You played Tomb of Annihilation, like the very, very beginning of it.
Okay. Yeah, so I played that one. So I don't really have much experience with different ones, unfortunately.
Curse of
One
Strahd's
day.
really freaking fun, though. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Very dark in a goofy, fun way. At least how we played it. It might just be very dark for other people.
Yeah,
I actually dungeon mastered Curse of Strahd at the beginning part for a real life group.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it all the way, but the way I dungeon mastered was definitely not dark and fun. It was just dark.
You don't say. I can't see you doing just a dark campaign. That's funny.
Yeah, I never played anything else than like 2nd edition, 5th edition, and some Dungeon World, so I have no answer. But I would love to like try other more alternative types of D&D.
Yeah, it would be fun to try different ones. I like ones that are heavy on role play. Like that's my favorite aspect of it. And that's why I'm enjoying this one so much more. I think even than the last one that we did, because it's like you can really get into character, and like that's something I feel like I've grown in definitely this campaign with my character and getting to know her more and stuff like that.
It's really pushing the frontiers of role playing, I feel.
Yeah. Which, speaking of characters, where is your character right now? How is your character feeling? That's my question. I'm gonna ask everybody.
I think Kellen. I think my characters always start out a little bit one-dimensional because I find like one defining trait to lean into, because I find that when you're playing for entertainment purposes specifically, you have to have something that people can be like, oh gosh, that's so Kellen, you know, like that they can immediately relate to. And of course you want to like let the character blossom and become something more three-dimensional as you go, but I find that when I've had characters that are like already super fleshed out when I start, it's like impenetrable for people. It's hard for them to like learn what to expect and enjoy from that person. So Kellen started out being just like very simply like, okay, he's gonna sound kind of pretentious and he's gonna be kind of like just the stereotypical pretentious Valley Girl musician. And then from there, he's kind of developed into more like, he's totally an appeaser. He doesn't like conflict. He is idealistic and romantic, but like not courageous about it, really. And he kind of like doesn't really make hard decisions ever. And so I'm kind of leaning into that, like, with this whole marriage thing made me think about that a lot. Like, okay, he married this girl. My impulse is to be like, okay, we have to communicate about everything and so I'm like, okay, well, what does this look like if you're someone who is conflict avoidant? Because I'm not. And so I'm trying to take the advice of a few like artist and writer friends that I have that encourage me to like I just talked to this great playwright at the Freedom of Speech Online thing, and she was talking about how sometimes you should write what you hate. Like, if you really don't like something, you should write about it to, like, create a story about it, to learn about it, and, like, the passion you have for it. It's similar to, like, write about something you love, where it's like, if you hate something, you can write very well about it, same as if you love something. So I'm experimenting with Kellen in that I hate conflict avoidance. It makes me so uncomfortable, but role-playing it can maybe give me, like, some passion that will translate with the character, or it will help me understand what it feels like to be conflict avoidant so that in my own life I can be less conflict avoidant. maybe, or understand people who are conflict avoidant better. So anyway, all of this is to say, I'm unpacking Kellen, and I feel like he's in a good spot where I've learned a lot about him. But I think what I want right now is to figure out then what does that do to the relationships he has. Like, I really want to understand his relationship with Kess. Like, they're brother and sister, but like, how does he view her as a friend? How does he view her as a confidant? And then like, what does that mean about what he thinks about Ransom? And there's kind of like maybe been some animosity there sometimes, and they've maybe broed out sometimes. That's never really been defined. So I think where Kellen is at is me trying to explore how his relationship with each person is. That was a long answer, but
no, that's good.
What
I
an
like
answer.
that. That's good.
I think a lot about role playing as entertainment, and also learning from role playing as entertainment as a human. So
I feel like it's good. I feel like we could definitely learn a lot. Like, I've connected with my character in times where I'm like, wait a minute, like I feel like this is happening to me IRL. So it's kind of cool when that happens, because you're like, you might explore the issues differently in role play than you would in real life, and then you have to think about all of that, which is cool. Go ahead, Trump. Where's your character at right now?
But well, I can't. I've definitely played my character far different than I would do anything in real life, or I would play most other characters. So that's been fun. I've willingly embraced the action of taking many bad choices, either mostly on purpose. So it's been a lot of fun playing this guy who was just in puppy love with Cass and has always been deeply devoted, and then gotten his heart broken. We'll see how he gets to. We'll see how he goes moving forward. He's had a lot of rough stuff happen to him, besides getting turned down at the basically altar, kind of. Not quite that dramatic, but that. And his father's dead, and it's been rough for him. But we'll see how he copes.
I'm really interested in like, sometimes you play him almost like a Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he like doesn't really understand social cues and stuff. That's
actually exactly, that is, I never thought of Drax, but yes, that is kind of him.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. I like how you didn't outright say that, and you like made us learn it about Ransom, and the fact that he's like so intelligent but also so like sometimes completely oblivious is really interesting.
This is a good time to also tie it back to the character creation stage. When we first started making characters, I had a 6 score, and you all know what I put the 6 in at this point, but I was asking V, since she was going to be my girl, what score do you want me to put this in? And then V said, put it in charisma. I was like, oh, all right. So I've been having fun playing this 6 charisma guy. That's what a 6 charisma looks like, guys.
I'm curious what it would have been different. Like, that's interesting.
I forgot that was in your charisma. What's your like your wisdom score?
I think that one.
The wisdom. Oh, the willpower, I guess, in this game is 10. Oh, and also V kind of dictated that I put my highest score in intelligence.
Right.
Or maybe I wanted to do that. So I'm a fighter with 17 intelligence and 6 charisma, which has been pretty interesting.
Yeah, you're like the strategist fighter. Yeah, that's cool.
Jen.
Olivia. So every time I create a new character, I try to do something I've never done before, and like really, like clearly try to make every character really unique. So like, yeah, they're all pretty different. So I tried like super aggressive character. I tried like the hippie drug character. I like peaceful that refused to fight. I tried a lot, and for this time, since we were going for relationships, I figured I should force myself to try to play a sexy character. I feel
That's been a lot of fun.
I feel it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Like embracing the sexual part of a character and making it like one of the things at the forefront of their personality, and being able to at least make jokes about sexuality on a D&D show, which I feel we usually don't do. And I'm trying to embrace that with this character, while not crossing any lines. That plus the fact that since I picked that she's super passionate, because of Reluna, which is like her god. And she's embracing passion every step of the way. So I'm trying to accept how I feel my character would be impulsive, even if it's going against like the party as a whole. For example, when I pushed Ransom's dad. Like, of course, I know it's dumb. Like, I don't want to do that, and I know people will get pissed. And I'm like, I should embrace passion, and I know she's pissed at him, so she should probably push him. So I'm trying to embrace passion. So yeah, I feel this character has evolved. I don't know how much she's evolved. I know I'm sticking with the passion thing. I think she's gotten a little bit. I thought she'd be more chaotic than she is. Like, she's actually sticking out with her boyfriend. Because I feel that somehow, like, Kellen and her made it work more than I thought they would. Like, somehow, like, they're renewing their relationship enough. And, like, when things are starting to drift, there always seems to be an event that brings them back. So this is surprising. I felt that they would be much less far along compared to Ransom and Kess. So I've been shocked that they're like actually toughing it out.
I know. I've been thinking the same exact thing lately. And I was just thinking about that too. That I did not expect their relationship to be as successful as it has.
Yeah, me neither. So that shocked me. That was not planned. I'm happy to have seen some big conflicts with like Guy and the mom. And in those moments, I was genuinely pissed, which is super exciting. Because, like, I was pissed at both Guy and the mom. So this is good. And I think the most interesting part right now for Olivia and the relationship is overall the notion of family as a group that travels together. And also the duality between the two relationships. So, like, how at first we would think that Ransom and Kess, they seemed like the better relationship, like according to society's standard. And seeing them going for the wedding and like seeing kids and stuff, and like seeing that they're not doing that great. Well, they had like a rough patch. I feel it's pretty interesting. Even from being me perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you define a successful relationship?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So with Cass, it's funny because, you know, when I first made Cass, she's like this happy-go-lucky character and, you know, in a good relationship. And even though she came from hardship because she lost her first love, you know, she felt really solid in the love she had with Ransom, never questioned anything, nothing at all, like had a good relationship with her brother. They were musically inclined. And then the whole thing with their family, like that abandonment she kind of feels at first with her family is like the beginning of it all because they're like, oh, we don't support your relationship. Okay, well, we're going to go. So then her family is only really, you know, Kellen and Ransom. And then, you know, that's like kind of tested along the waters because you have Olivia that comes in and then their relationship was weird at first. So it kind of threw Kess off a little bit because, you know, she cares about her brother. And this is like anyone close to her. She's just like, you know, really takes care of and really wants to see happy. So you go from this character for me who's like watching sunsets and happy, and then, you know, trials are coming at her, different things like losing the dad. You know, when she felt abandoned on the boat from Ransom, when she like felt like she needed him and he wasn't there, then she started questioning that relationship and it's like, wait, am I making the right decision? Because this is happening and I feel alone, and she felt abandoned again. So every time she's just feeling a little bit more abandoned and she's trying to keep a good face, but I think she's fighting chaos a little inside with the dreams that have been going on. But then there's also, other stuff going on where people aren't believing her about the dreams, and then she's feeling abandoned, and then she's making some choices. I think she killed someone earlier on, and that's not normally her thing to do, but she was protecting and just like, kind of fighting that chaos inside. So she's still doing that. And whereas, yeah, her and Ransom had this semi or seemingly perfect relationship, but it's hit some bricks, and it's like, well, is this really what she wants, or does she just need to be alone? So that's what she had been struggling with. And then she sees Ransom go through something, and then they connect back together again, and now they're like slowly rebuilding their relationship. But it's been a lot for her. She's had a lot, and then these premonitions are just a whole nother twist of the thing, because not only has she had dreams where there's actual magic happening against her, but now she's having dreams where she knows what's happening, and it could like happen with the future, and she doesn't want to see anyone die because of her. So it's just this internal struggle she's definitely going through. So yeah, she's definitely gone through some things, and it's not that she's not happy, but she's fighting. She's fighting inside, definitely. So,
Good question.
yeah.
Should that be where we end? Because that's a really good.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
that's
really
good.
good
Yes.
question.
If anybody doesn't have any more like serious pressing questions, unfortunately, yeah, Neil is not able to come back, so we don't have quite the D&D episode, but hopefully you guys got some understanding of our characters, or if you have any other questions. Yeah.
Are you guys there next week?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
You guys there next week? We're playing
Yeah, we should
for
all-
realsies.
Yeah, we should be. Hopefully, Neil had a power outage, which is super super random, right in the middle of starting D&D. So
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Mm,
But at least we didn't start an episode and have to stop in the middle, I guess.
yeah. Also,
Yeah,
your
that's
cat
true,
is
too.
adorable. V.
I know,
Like
she's just
like,
right there like a little.
perfectly sitting.
She looks like a little statue.
Yeah, like the owl back, like right
Yeah.
behind you, Anna. Every time I like see it, and I'm like, oh, like pause there. I'm
I
like,
keep
"Wait,
doing
that's-
that too. I keep thinking Poa's right behind me when I see myself on the camera.
It's an owl.
I just noticed that owl like for the first time.
It's an owl bear that cat cosplay made for
Aw.
our for Dice Camera
Oh
Action.
my god,
Yeah,
it's
it's
an owl.
a little owl
That's
bear.
super
It has
cute.
I
little
love
wings.
it.
Yeah,
Oh my
it
god.
has a little bell. Bearson
Aw.
does not like that.
He doesn't like owl bears.
No.
Uh-oh.
There's
Well, where can everybody find you guys?
You can find me at
What-
Anna Prosser almost everywhere, and on twitch.tv/Twitch on Friday for Twitch Weekly.
Awesome. Trump, anything going on this week for you?
Yeah, for those of you who love Dungeons and Dragons, and you're here probably for Dungeons and Dragons, my weekly show on Saturdays, Heroes Graveyard. We're gonna have returning cast of Destiny Chanman. We're gonna see who the
Who
other
do you-
two are.
Yeah, there's no extra spot, right?
So you lost 2 people. I thought you only lost Anna.
We did lose Anna, however, Rachel is she the one going to Korea, or is that
To
you?
Tokyo. She's going
Tokyo,
to Tokyo,
yes.
and I'm going to LA.
Ooh, I'm jelly. I want to go to LA. Go ahead, Jen. What are you
I
doing?
was gonna say I'm actually free on Saturdays. I was like, crap, I could have played. I wanna die too. Like Anna. You can follow me at Live in Pink, but I don't do much public things anymore besides D&D on Tuesdays. So I tweet about my cat and Far Cry and Rainbow Six mostly.
Nice. And I am V Parlefoy everywhere at V Parlefoy. I will be streaming after this, so you can tune in if you need something to do for the next couple hours. And I'm celebrating 3 years on Twitch this weekend.
Wow!
Yay! And then we also have a new D20 emote, which I saw some of my people.
Yeah, I've seen it. That
That's
is
awesome.
awesome. Who did that
I
art
love
for
my
you?
D20. Ash Angel did it for me for that one. Navi's actually turning 6 this weekend too. So the 6-year anniversary
Aw.
and my baby's turning 6, which is crazy. 6 years I've had this beautiful
So
cat.
cute.
Yeah. And then that's me. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah,
Y'all have
thanks,
a wonderful
team.
night, and we should have D&D hopefully back next week. So we'll see you then.
See you soon. Thanks for the questions. Bye.
Bye.